Hi Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is July 27th. The Olympics are going. I did not watch the opening ceremonies. I had to work yesterday. I just haven't gone back and watched them because I got other stuff to do. So what have we been doing since last time we chatted? Let's see. I went to Midsummer Stitch. That was hosted by Stephanie from Lindy Stitches. It was fun. It was nice I did the whip speed dating and met lots of nice stitchers. I saw Kim Goldman from the Contented Needleworker. We got cut off early though. I don't know what happened, but it was nice to see her again. And then I went to the finish parade. That was amazing. That right there alone was worth the $8 I spent to go to the event. It was amazing. Just to sit and watch people show their finished projects or finished pieces. Fantastic. I just did that on Friday. I didn't do that on Saturday. Todd and I went driving up in the back country. Just went for a nice long drive and went and had lunch and just tooled around on Saturday. And it was over on Sunday. So what else have I done? Work has been a hamster wheel. On Friday, we have a group chat from my peers and I. I'm like, this was a hamster wheel week. I just ran as fast as I could, and it felt like I didn't get anywhere. But next week's a new week. So, and Todd's working on the house. If you watch my Instagram, you'll see that he has the form set up for the stem walls. So it goes the footers and then the stem walls. Once that's poured and he takes the forms off of there, he'll backfill the fill around the side of the house so they can, move around and start building. Which means I need to make some decisions like windows, and we need to look at some lighting stuff, figure some things out. If I could get off the hamster wheel long enough, I could do that. So it's a priority now. I might even hire an interior designer. We've been talking about that, just for kitchen layout and a couple other things. So anyway, that's kind of what's happened in life. I don't think anything else exciting has been going on. I did watch some volleyball this morning, which makes me super happy. I love watching volleyball. I like sports in general, but I really love watching beach and court volleyball, men and women. So I've got that set to record. And my sister timed me. She says, I haven't stitched much lately, but I'm just going to stitch, and watch the Olympics. And I'm like, that's a great idea, because it's going to get hot again. Not quite 100, but close to it. Everything is crispy. And but we have air conditioning, so there's some things to be thankful for. Who have I watched lately? I thought I would just share some people I have watched. I watched Jen's Fiber Web. I met Jen at the Midsummer Stitch, so it was nice to chat with her, and it was nice to meet other people who have channels. So check Jen out. I'll link these folks below. I met Tara from Mud Creek Stitcher, and I think I have watched one of her videos before too, and I've subscribed to both of them. Tara was there with another friend, and they were in a stitching room. So after the finish parade, I went to a stitching room, and sometimes there's like so many people in those rooms. You can't see everybody. There's like 100 people in there, 200, and sometimes it feels like the same people are talking to each other, and we're just watching. So I left and I went to a smaller room, and by the time I left, there was maybe a dozen people there. It was fantastic because we could have just a regular conversation. I met Tara there. Rika from House of Stitch and Stash, and her projects. I love her projects. She and I stitched some of the same things. She's moved back to the United States, I think maybe a year ago. And so, I don't know if Rika watches my channel, but Rika, I'm thinking about your husband and hoping I hope his health improves. Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher, I usually watch Jessica when her videos come out as soon as I can. And she also has some of the same things that I would stitch on her stitch list. Sarah's Stitchy Spot, I like her. She's so positive and so cheery. So I enjoyed watching Sarah. Okay, and I watched my friend Audrey Stitchy Witch 42. Audrey's retired now, and she is kind of in the general vicinity of where I live, and I need to get together with Audrey. I've decided I need to reach out to her and get together with her because there's no excuse why we couldn't get together and stitch one of these days. And I have been watching Dina Half Stitch Cross Stitch obsessively. So she really, I love her format. She does vlog style and she gets stuff done. And I was telling my husband, I'm like, some stitchers set goals and they have these prompts and challenges, and whether it's the Tour de Force challenge or the Olympics challenge or what have you, I admire that. I think it's wonderful. I don't know if it's practical for me to do that right now at this point in my life. In fact, I sometimes struggle with just assignment stitching, and all I have right now is every month I'm trying to do a block of Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, and I haven't done my July block yet. It's the 27th. So I just decided assignment stitching might not be my thing, and especially working full time, right? Although working right now, I think it's better that I do work, because we just have these 2 rooms that we live in. And if I didn't work, I would probably feel ungrateful for the little bit of space that we have. And as it is, I work all day and I come into the other room and I hang out with my husband and might have a cocktail hour, watch TV. And so it does fill the day for sure. That is, I watched more people than that. I just jotted some names down this time. So I would like to talk about the giveaways last time. So last time I had these patterns. The first one was Song of the Needle by Just Nan, and this also does have the beads that come with it. The winner of this is Dawn Barney, DAWNBARNEY 2659. Dawn, please email me. I'll put my email in the drop down box below. The SI 1849 by Bendy Stitchy Michelle, that goes to Nancy M6615. The treasures, my precious treasures from Blue Ribbon Designs. I'll try not to mix my words up. Sometimes that happens. Joanne Moore 826. Joanne Moore 826. And then the last one from last time was Pink Cottage School. This is by from Liz Matthews. The winner is Bernice Fischels. Bernice BERNICE Fischels FISCHELS 6621. Okie dokie. Before I show you my whips, and this is going to be a fast video, I can tell you already. Before I show you my whips, I do have a couple giveaways for next time. The first one is the Garnieri sampler, GUARNIERI, by Forget Me Nots and Stitches. I bought this twice. I don't know why I bought it twice. Well, actually, I like it so much I bought it twice. If you'd like this chart in the giveaway, please write sampler. I'm going to write that down. Sampler. Okay. And the other one is Anne Duncan, 1807 from Samplers and Such. I also bought this one twice. If you would write Anne, ANN, in your comment. And I have one more giveaway, and it kind of goes with haul. So I was on, I think I saw this on Instagram. This is Jersey Girl Stitch Company. It is Teresa and Anna Curio. I bought some counting pins, and these are absolutely stunning. Look at that. Look at that. It's so beautiful, and they're reasonable, and the service was fantastic. And Teresa wrote me a note I think it was Teresa, wrote me the note that she would like to offer two $15, one each, per two viewers to have a $15 gift coupon to her shop. And you can, of course, buy more than that if you want. You would just pay the difference. If you would like this, please write Jersey, Jersey. And I'll choose a winner next time. And the way it'll work is you'll need to give me your email and I will pass that along to Teresa and she'll reach out to you for you to go into her shop, pick what you like, and work out the shipping and all that. So thank you, Teresa and Anna, very much. Beautiful, beautiful counting pins. I have so many patriotic smalls. It's going to be difficult to pick the one that these might go in. So, okay. Also for next week for the giveaway, if you would like to win one of those, I'd like you to shout out Flosstubes. And here's your challenge. Tell me who you've been watching, the channel name, and I'd like you to look at the other comments before you comment and see how many different channels you can name. So don't say the same person over and over and over again. Pick a different channel that somebody else has already named, if you can. I know sometimes it's kind of hard to see that stuff, but just look at the comments before you comment, and let's see how many we can generate, how many different channel names we can generate. So, and you can name your own, you can name your friend, you can name just somebody you watch. There's no restrictions on it. Awesome. So giveaways, check. Next time giveaways, check. So what have I been working on? Well, let me tell you, I was so into my stitching that really I should have probably done a video last week and I just didn't want to because I was so into what I was working on. The first one I was working on, and I showed you this, I think last time, is Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. And I believe last time I was working on this house here, and I just kept going and going and going. I normally would switch it out for another project. I didn't. I finished the top section of Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. And this is on 32 count. It's a hand dye by Stephanie Jobelin. It's kind of a mottled light green, kind of a dirty green, very moody fabric. It's stitched over one. This fabric was a fabric of the month club, I think, piece. And I wanted to stitch it on this. I just thought the colors would look beautiful on here, but the piece is not quite big enough to stitch over two. So that's why I stitched it over one. Let's see, what else did I do here? And I'll probably insert some sort of video to show you a close-up. A lot of the pumpkins are over-dyed threads that I just substituted. I've got some of them here. Some of these are some of the over-dyed threads that I chose from. This is all DMC. I'm doing a combination of DMC and over-dyed threads. So now I have the two big trees and those kind of urny looking things. I don't know, they're monuments of some sort. I just watched Olivia B's recent video, and I think she's working on the trees, and she says the 2.5 million leaves that are on there. And isn't that the truth? I'm going to just thread up a bunch of needles, I think, and have them ready to stitch so I can switch quickly. But I need to, even the tree trunks, there's a bit to it. And there's like a dog at the bottom. He's so cute. So I'm looking forward to this, continuing to get that done. It took a while and I was busy. So when I've helped Todd with some work of some house things, but not, I mean, he's done most of it himself. Like one day he brought in a whole bunch of plywood, 4x8 3/4 inch plywood that we had to rip lengthwise. So I'm helping him, pull it through the saw, making sure nobody loses any digits. I said, don't damage the money makers. I type with these and I stitch with these. So I just want to be very careful. But those things add up and there's less stitching time. Also, I've been a little more intentional about not being on, my screen as much and maybe being outside, just sitting down and talking with my husband and trying to sort of slow it down a little bit and also be, because I do spend most of my day stitching and working, just trying to do some other things to mix it up. That's what I'm trying to say. That's all. So the next thing I picked up, I worked on, and I thought, oh, I'm not too far from finishing this. Well, there was quite a bit of stitching left on it still. This is a Teresa Kogut Patreon chart. I'm sure you'll look for this for some time in the future in a future release. It was May's Patreon Tier 4 chart called Folk Floral Cottage. Sorry, that's kind of blowing out. There we go. That's a little better. I picked some NPIs. I finished it. I picked some NPIs and substituted those. And the rest, there's a few overdyes that are already on the chart, but I just substituted those for some DMCs. And isn't this adorable? I love this. Todd looked over the other night. He goes, that's not what you normally stitch. He said, but those are your colors for sure. And this bird is so funny. He's got this little, I don't know what kind of bird that is. It's just a folk art bird. He's got the little pin feathers in the back, or maybe they're not pin feathers, feathers on the back of the head. Such a pleasure to stitch this. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm just going to take it down and get it framed locally. And I'll show you something else I'm going to have her frame in a minute. Then last night I picked up my Mirabilia. I've been thinking about her. I've been wanting to get to her. I just felt like I was so far down the path on that Teresa Kogut piece that I wanted to finish it. So this one, I'm going to be switching back between this Mirabilia Florentina and the Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. They're two of my whips from 2018. I'm just trying to shorten my cycle time a little bit. I'm not going to take her off the Q snaps. Maybe I'll just tuck her up on this board though. Make it a little bit easier to show you. So last night I picked her up and started working on her, and I outlined her hand and her arm. On this side she had no arm, and I stitched this like floral bouquet in here. I did that last night, a little bit this morning while I was watching Poland play Egypt and men's volleyball. It was awesome. Poland won in 3 sets. So doesn't you look at her and you think she must know something? Like, she's definitely got to look like, I'm going to look beautiful, but don't mess with me. She's gorgeous. And this fabric is very pretty. This is, I don't remember what fabric it is. Again, I started this in 2018. Probably one of my early videos when I showed her, I knew what it was, but it's long escaped me. And it's not on my whip list. I looked. So those are the whips I have worked on. And the one I finished. And so I have a couple of things in haul I want to show you. Not a lot this time. And a couple other things I want to show you. So I follow a lady on Instagram. Her name is Jenny Mayo 830. And she does punch needle, and she punches like every day, like I cross stitch every day. And when she finishes a project or 2 or 3, like every week she lists them for sale, and I miss it. Like, they're gone like that, just super fast. And she sells them in her Etsy shop, and I contacted her because there was one I loved and I wish I could have picked up. And I asked her if she would commission pieces, and she said if she had enough thread and fabric, she would do it for me and sell it to me. So she checked and she did have it. And so I can't wait to show you this punch needle and how amazing this is. She is so inspiring. Like, I definitely feel like I want to get my punch needle out and start working on it. And I would say this is probably 12 by 6, maybe 5. She does this wool on the back. And it looks like there's a yarn with like a whip stitch around it. Maybe like a blanket stitch. No, it's a whip stitch. And this is like, it's gorgeous. I mean, to die for gorgeous. So I just wanted to share that. What a talent she has. And I really appreciate her indulging me. I don't have hardly any punch needle, and I feel like I need more in my life. couple other things for haul. One, I bought this princess hoop off of eBay. It's really in good shape. It probably has a little bit of a gap here and maybe needs the twill tape on it. I guess that's what it's called. But sometimes with smalls, I do stitch in hand usually, but my friend Lori McClary, we learned from our friend Jean how to stitch in hand with a hoop. Basically, you can use a sewing method. This just helps keep your project kind of more stable and easier to hold. So I decided to buy that. I bought this off of eBay too, Pumpkin Fest Bittersweet Farms by With Thy Needle. I've never seen this one before. I'm not sure when this came out. Let me see. 2010, so it's been around a little while. I just hadn't seen it before. I love this little pumpkin. I think some of her older patterns have different, it has cross stitch and other types of crafts. And she gives you instructions. Her instructions are great. They're fantastic. So I feel like this would be fun. Like, wouldn't it be fun to make one of these out of like calico fabric? That would be fun. Yep. That's in my future. I also saw this one. This reminds me of my friend Kathy Lounsbury. She probably has this pattern. Look at how stinking cute this is. It's very fiddly looking though. It looks like that little mouse with that little star. I mean, come on. And the pumpkin, all of that usually she shows you in her patterns. But it's so stinking adorable. So I bought that. I also found my unicorn. It's in pristine shape. It is from it's Blackbird, Merry Christmas, Ella Vaughn. Ella Vaughn is a family member of Barb or Alma, I can't remember which, but I probably will retread this to say Merry Christmas, everyone. That's what I think I'll do. So that's on my short list. I also found some Blackbird fabric from an online seller. This is a much older line, but look at kind of the chintz look with little hearts. It's so cute. And look at the way it's all wrapped up beautifully. So I think she had more of that available, but I just bought a few yards. So this keeps popping up in my Instagram, and I went and bought it. William Morris. This is the other thing I'm going to have framed. I might just frame the butterfly and not the words. I haven't yet decided. I love William Morris. Love, love, love that style. It's so, like, the graphics are so stunning. So I think this is the other thing I'm going to have framed at Silverton Art and Frame. And it's not cross stitch, but it kind of, you see some different, who was stitching some moths? Might have been somebody at Midsummer Stitch. Moths or butterflies. Very inspiring. And two more things. One, I did make some project bags, and I sold some, but I haven't sold them all. And I pulled them down because I'm just busy. Too busy to babysit that account. But if you would like to buy, these are $33. They're like 13 by 12. There are 2 pink ones left. And there are 4 or 5 of the green ones. One has a green zipper and the rest have white zippers. They're kind of a greenish blue color. Just send me your PayPal address in an email below, and I will invoice you. First people to buy them, of course, will get them and I'll mail them to you. So the last thing I have was a surprise. Oh, no, I have 2 things. One, I wanted to mention, speaking of William Morris, this I got at Joann's Fabric. It was like 40% off. It's a sewing machine case. It's a roller, but it's William Morris print. And when I saw it across the store and I saw that it was on sale and I needed something to put, I could put my whole sewing machine with the cover in it. And it's good because here it's really dusty. It's a construction site. So I was ecstatic that everything fit in it, and I thought it was worth mentioning. It may not still be on sale, but if you like it, you might watch and see, and it also might be online and have it shipped if you don't have a Joann's near you. It's nice quality, so I thought that was worth mentioning. There's that. That's my PSA for today. Okay, the last thing. I do watch Facebook Marketplace. It's kind of an obsession. It's kind of, and my sister and I send listings to each other, and occasionally I'll send something to Lori if it's in her area. And if I like something, it just depends on where it is, because my search area I think is like 100 miles. I'm like, I'm not driving 100 miles for that. If I have to drive through Portland, forget it. But this came up, and I immediately messaged the person, and I said, can I come tonight or tomorrow to pick it up? And he's like, oh, I'm out of town. I'm like, well, why are you selling stuff if you're out of town? So this was like on Thursday. And on Sunday, I met him and picked this up from him. And he and his partner were selling their house. This belonged to his partner's family. An ancestor stitched it. And he did not know what he had. He had some other framed pieces, and he was wondering if I was interested in them. He had paid more to have them framed, so he valued not the item being framed, but the frame itself. And this one did not have it has just kind of a plain frame on it. But this is Hannah Swift. Oh, Hannah Steeman. Sorry, wrong. Hannah Swift was on the one I showed you last time. Hannah Steeman, 1846. Are you dying? It's Facebook Marketplace, so it was like hardly anything. And he just didn't know what he had. I showed this on Instagram, and someone did a little research for me, which always gives me a thrill when people can find it, because I don't know where this came from. And Sylvia from Running with Needles and Scissors, she commented and thought it was probably English, and I tend to agree with her. Somebody was wondering if it's French. I think that's a good guess. She pointed out this is like a Tudor rose design, and somebody else said this looks like a Celtic knot. And I thought, oh, isn't that interesting? But she's SS, Sarah Steeman, and this is probably a spouse, H-E. So the person that the gal did the research on, she married somebody with different initials. So I don't know. It could be the same person. It might not be. But probably not, because this is probably her husband. Maybe. I don't know. So keep your eyes out. You never know what these stitches are going to pop up. And of course, you guys, if you know me and you've seen the samplers I bought, the colors could not be any more what I love. And the motifs, I love stitching flowers the most. So I just like died when I saw it. And my sister, she had seen it. She sent me the link. I'm like, I'm on it already. And she's like, I'm so glad you got that. And I was too. So that was the thrill of the week. What's coming up? I have, the Olympics, right? Stitching in Olympics. And I don't think there's much of anything until mid-August. I have a family reunion. But I'm getting new people on my team at work, so I may not take the whole week off. I'm getting them about the same time. And then in September, I got into the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. I was too late at the beginning, and so I had to waitlist it. But I got in and I paid, and so I'm super excited about that. If you're going, let me know. Send me a shout out, because I would love to meet you. So that's what I have for today. I'm going to continue to work on my Florentina, on my autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. And I do have, once I finish one of those, I'm going to pivot over to my Plum Street that I got at the Autumn Abundance Retreat last year. I can't remember what it's called. I'll if I think about it, I'll drop a picture in here. Oh, I apologize last video for the tease that I was going to show you some pictures of Shepherd's Bush and the places that I went when I was in Salt Lake. And then Amanda writes, she goes, where are your pictures? And I was like, dang it. I posted it without putting the pictures on the end. So if you're still interested and you want to see those, I'll put them at the end of this video. That's all I have for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. And I hope that you have a good rest of July and into August. And we'll see you next time. Take care.